I do believe we are live. So I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again. I'm trying to be super mindful of control, and it is messing with my brain a little bit, right? That I get to control the amount of silence between my words, how fast I talk. How can I control? So much control. So much control. And yet nothing. No control whatsoever, right? On the grand scheme of things. Yesterday we talked about freedom and how important freedom is to us. How nothing technically is free in so many words. And then all of that attached to this understanding that I feel we're only as free, or at least we only feel as free, as much as we feel in control, right? At least that's the wisdom that I've been trying to echo to myself. This understanding that we don't really want to be free infinitely. At least this is my personal perspective, right? I think what's more important to us than freedom is control, right? But on the other side, unfortunately, that control is so important to people that they end up taking other people's freedom to maintain said control, right? And this might be a little bit confusing. So let's kind of attach it to something like food, for example, where you are free to eat whatever you want to, right? And we kind of like that in some ways. We like that we have options. We like that we have so many different things that we could be eating potentially. But if we feel like we're out of control when it comes to these things that we're supposed to be eating, it causes a certain sense of tension where freedom becomes the problem, right? Is what I'm trying to say coming through. Like having so much freedom to eat whatever you want to inadvertently becomes a problem because it can feel like you don't have control. You can just eat everything all the time and you're free to do that if you want to, right? So kind of like reaching a level of self-control where you don't feel like you're a slave to food, for example. Like this is now an analogy I'm trying to make that kind of like extends, beyond just food, but trying to figure out how to be more in control as a version of self is going to do more for you when it comes to your sense of freedom than actually being free, right? Another analogy, maybe you're not enjoying the work you're doing, right? And yet, even though you might feel trapped in your job that you're doing right now, you are still in control enough to show up for it, to be there, to be yourself, to be the loving version of self that you can be in that space. Yesterday, after stream, I stepped in a massive thorn. It went like a quarter of an inch into my foot. It devastated me. And then, like, after it went that deep into my foot, the point of it broke off inside of my foot. And I spent time trying to get it, right? Trying to get that little little asshole that's stuck inside of my foot. And I was like digging. I was like freaking digging with tweezers, with needles, with I'm trying to think if there's a different pins, with little tools, with little loops, really digging, right? And I'm still a little bit because I haven't been able to get it out. I'm still in so much pain, right? And yesterday especially where I had to start singing, I had to just go into tones instead of speaking normal human words because of the amount of discomfort it was causing me. And even though I felt trapped, right, out of control when it comes to being able to do something about this discomfort that I'm experiencing, I didn't let it compromise the way I treated my family. I didn't let it compromise the way I talk to my mom and my sister, right? And I'm not saying that it's supposed to. I was just painfully, pun intended, aware of how in control I am actually. Where I could see this version of me losing its shit, right? Absolutely losing its mind because it's in pain and just biting everything around it. And I was like, yeah, I'm just not gonna do that because I value my control more than I value my freedom to express myself any way that I want to. And that felt like a significant moment. Unfortunately, that thorn is so deep that I don't know if I'll be able to get it. Apparently, my mom's best advice is I'm going to have to let it get infected and then have it like work itself out. And I'm like, oh hell, I don't like any of those words. But yeah, in control, right? The fact that I have to now release control over a piece of wood that is stuck inside of my foot, and I have to be like, yeah, I release. I try to get it out of me again, and it was just too much. Like, oh goodness, this is TMI. I know, but when the thorn is so deep that after you've like removed layers of skin and you still have to like push the tips of the tweezers into flesh to try and fetch that little thorn, like, and the deeper it goes, the higher the pain threshold goes. I'm like, oh hell, I'm not strong enough. I don't have enough control. I don't have enough control to be able to do that. So I'm going to have to practice control in not doing it. What's up, man? It's up to you, Samson. It's nice having you. Let me see if I can give you a better view. There you go. You can see parts of me at least. Let me get to the comments. Louisiana, Joyvive, and Shanna, and Sam, and Jovan is here too. Duck that, of course. So much love to all of you. I did the whole 30 minutes of yoga today for the first time. Well, with modifications for my broken foot. You're doing well, Louisiana. It's fortunately completely in your control. All of the things that you want to change. Sending you so much love for that. Thank you for practicing with us. I hope it's been helping. How's it been feeling? Right? Like that's the thing I'm thinking about even more. Oh no, the lion with the thorn in his paw. Yeah. 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 Like you don't want to see that, man. It's like so red, right? Like there's a hole in me, and then there's like red all around the hole that's inside of me right now. And I'm like, bro, please, bro, please. I don't want to release control. I don't want that thorn staying inside of me until it doesn't want to be inside of me anymore. I'm like, oh hell nah. Oh hell nah. I'm gonna do something about it. And then I'm like, I am going to smoke weed though, because it helps. It does. Last night, in fact, while digging for this thorn in my foot, I was just like smoking weed, and then continuing the like expedition. I spent more than an hour trying to dig a thorn out of my foot. Like I feel pretty dramatic about it. I feel like it's taking control of my brain. Stop it, you thorn! It's pulling strings in my foot right now. Speaking words. Thorns. The thorns are the real invaders. Who knew? The aliens weren't going to take over our planet. It was going to be the thorns. So, I guess Hidden Valley is a partnering with some godforsaken creamery to make ranch flavored ice cream. That is some of the most cursed shit I've ever heard in my entire life. What's wrong with people? There has to be something wrong with people, right? I'm sure. Like I think there's a lot wrong with me, right? But there's not whatever is wrong with me is not the same what's wrong with people that want ranch flavored ice cream. My intention is to release control and also practice control. Release control over the things that I don't have control over. Release the need to want to control the things I don't have control over. And then embrace more control for the things that I do have control over. Yeah. The triple two. Let's go. Cheers to you. Oh no, did you ask your family to help? I did, Joy V. It's too deep. It's too deep. Sister helped me with the light at least. But yeah, oh man, that's rough out. It's okay, thank you. I'm gonna be fine. I'm 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 actively fine. I am fine, in fact. There we go. That's disgusting. So yeah, yeah. Ranch flavored ice cream. That's so cursed. I don't like your mom's plan. I don't either, Joy V, not even remotely. But it's too deep. It's actually too deep. Like it's so deep right now I can't even see it. Like I've never stepped in a thorn and going this deep. Like I like cried a few times last night. I know. Right? I am in control. It's okay for me to cry. Yeah. Because like I was fetching my stuff after streaming and I jumped off of this little ledge and at the bottom of that ledge was two thorns waiting for me. And then I watched it go completely through my sandal into my foot. And then I noticed the little tip of the thorn missing because it was like boing. You know, like the whole comedy kind of fall on something and get hurt and then jump back up. That's exactly what happened. I'm tripping out at the thorn aliens running around. Yeah. Little did you know, if anyone has ever stepped in a thorn ever, inadvertently mind controlled, they're mind controlled by all of the aliens. There's like only a few normal humans left. We're coming for you, Sam. Sprinkling thorns all over your apartment right now. Very, very inconspicuous. That face was worth it. Well, look at Judgy McMelty here. All high and mighty without ranch ice cream. Mel, do you have Epsom salts? I don't think we do. I don't know if I'm high and mighty. Are you like down? Is that what's happening here right now, Duck Dad? You're like, actually, I like ranch ice cream. What's wrong with you? Hey, Raiden. What's wrong with you for not liking ranch ice cream? No, dude, please. Please put the ranch ice cream down. You can't do that. Please stop it. Like it's actually concerning me the more I think about it. I'm just imagining a person, right? I'm like imagining the Vesica Pisces of people, in fact. One Vesica Pisces of people is the type of person that drinks ranch dressing right out the bottle. I don't know if there are any people like that. I'm just sharing a simulacrum that's in my head right now. One type of person drinks ranch right out the bottle. Other person eats whole tub of ice cream with a spoon, right? Not saying that any of those two are wrong, but then I'm just seeing this cursed kind of sliver in the middle of people that want to eat a whole bucket of ranch flavored ice cream so they don't have to drink as much of the ranch anymore. I'm good to stop doing that, dude. Why? Like I'm seeing this person. Why is I'm like asking, please put the ranch ice cream down for what for everything that's good and holy in the world. Please stop the ranch ice cream. Oh, please, please. Goodness. Uh, and you cry all the time. At least this time, you had a real reason. This is true. This is true. Like I only started crying when I was like digging in my foot and I couldn't fetch it. Like it was like it wasn't a I'm in pain crying. It was a Moodle Lewis. What's Moodle Lewis in English? Defeated. Oh man, I even using those words trips me out. I don't want to say I was defeated. I was crying in defeat. In defeat? Did you get what I'm? Yeah, yeah. The thorn was in defeat, and I was crying in defeat. Freaking thorns! I was so offended. I was again offended. I was like, bro, I'm not separate, right? Because that's of course where I had to go to. I'd be like, oh, you're in pain. So, so what though? So what? You're in pain. I'm like, but I'm suffering here. It's like, oh yeah, and so. Think you're separate? You think you're separate? That thorn is a part of you now. As much, maybe a little bit more than it's been a part of you the whole time before you stepped in it. Maybe you just had to get that intimate acquaintance, like a real one-on-one connection. Me and the thorn are one now. Yes. And I'm noticing this like thought pattern happening in my mind while my body is like being like alert, alert. There is a foreign object inside of our foot. Alert. Please, please. All systems on deck. We need all attention, hyper focused on this thorn inside of foot right now. And me just like going through those loops. They say it is supposed to go with salty snacks, and ranch ice cream. And I'm like, y'all can't release that in a market where recreational weed just went legal. It's probably why that shit is existing. Are you telling me it's in too deep, Doug? Dad? Sorry for missing that joke or before. It's way too deep now, dude. Oh goodness. Now the person is smashing Doritos, eating a bucket full of ranch ice cream while smoking weed. That's just like plum, dude. Pick one. Like pick one of those things. Smoke weed or eat Doritos or eat ranch ice cream, please. Not the trifecta. That's too much. They say suppose. From the interwebs, if a splinter is especially deep, you can make a paste with baking soda and water and apply it to the affected area. Then cover it with a band-aid or a bandage and wait a day. The paste should move the splinter closer to the surface of the skin. I'm gonna 100% do that. I used some sort of I don't know why, but my brain is telling me it's a metal. Silver cream, silver oxide cream, or something like that, which is supposed to be antibacterial. And I gave myself a little bit of that, and I put a plaster. Is that what you call it in English? Apply to the affected area. Bandage or band-aid. Yeah, we call it plasters. It's a plaster that you op yourself block. Releasing control. I am not in control. Whether or not I step in the thorn, it's done. I accept my fate, and I shall move on. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. Your body has the ability to heal itself. I. Oh, goodness! You can't do that to me, dude. Like, first thing we're saying goes, I, and I alone, am the source of what I experience and perceive. Coming full circle back to control, right? You're not in control, but you are in control. You're not in control of what happens to you, but you are in control of how you feel about it, what you perceive, right? What your experience is. I and I alone am the source of what I experience and perceive. I am one that has chosen to assume responsibility for this body called Meltmore. Yeah, I think that was too much. I feel like, right? Like I was there, I'm one. The thorn and me are very much one as well right now. And that union is allowing for what I'm perceiving in this moment. and then it brings this weird fractal of when we suffer, are we supposed to take responsibility for it from this perspective of almost being angry at ourselves, right? Because that's where I am sometimes, where I get angry at myself for letting myself experience things that I don't want to experience, right? Can you do that too? Yeah, how about that? We are in control, and yet, even if we, in our divine control, choose to do things that if we were in the way we think we want to be in perfect control, we would still choose to do things exactly the way we did it, right? Even if you were, in your worldview, the God you think of when you say the word God, right? Omnipotent, all powerful, capable of doing anything. As that version of self, you chose to be you now, right? Right? Because here you are. Otherwise, you wouldn't be. Like, you were loved enough to exist. Something that is very unlikely with an infinity. And yet, infinitely likely. Control. I believe there had to be. That's so maybe that's the fractal that I'm trying to elicit. I believe you are in control, right? You are in control. And in that control, you chose to be who you are right now. And then as that version of yourself, you gain certain experiences by convincing yourself that you're not in control. Right? Like, for instance, it like had like a storm rain before stream today. Like, it's even dry on this little patio. You can probably still see some of the nah. It rained a lot. Let me just say it like that. Like, maybe 25 mils in 20 minutes. It was like coming sideways. I had to close windows because it was just coming inside the windows. And I was like, huh, this is nice. Write the whole fractal off. This is out of my control. I could have an experience of, this feels out of control. And then it came back into control. And the rain calmed down. And before I did my yoga, it was completely gone. And now we could do this stream in relative calm. It's kind of cool as well. Like, the temperature is nice right now. Love you. Okay, sorry. One last point. Thank you. Thank you for in your infinite control. One, choosing to be who you are. Two, choosing to be who you are in the time you chose to be yourself. Three, choosing to be who you are in the time you chose to be yourself. And in that time, interlapping over my time and then choosing to spend that time with me too. Thank you. Thank you. Like, there's so much control that had to go into just your presence being here right now. It's like just getting up from bed, right? Control. And then all of the other steps. I can't even imagine. So many fractals. Oh, love all of you. So much. So much love for all of you. Mm-mm-mm. Bro, in Wisconsin, they ask you if you want a free glass of water or ranch dressing when you sit down at a restaurant. Like, do they bring you a glass of ranch dressing, or do you get options? Right? Like, if they have, no, please. I'm guessing. This is the way I want to see it. This is what I want to believe. That they ask you, want some water, or maybe some ranch dressing, right? Like, something that you're going to get with your meal, so you can dip your chips in the ranch dressing or something, which I can get behind, right? Flavor changer or whatever. But like, if they bring me a glass of ranch dressing, I think I'm gonna have to leave, dude. Like, you know, I think I think there's like some evil shit happening here, dude. I don't know. I need to get the fuck out right now. Then cover it. I'm gonna try that. So again, baking soda and water. That's pretty simple. Baking soda and water, and make a paste with it. Thank you again, Loisana. I'll try that. Anything that will help. I started painting again. Yeah. More. I got to paint yesterday, and it was much needed therapy, coffee, rain, and some music. That sounds amazing. Candace is an artist already, right? And like she took a little bit of hiatus, not making as much art as she used to. And her art is quite something. Like her style is absolutely adorable. My mind is generating fractals right now. Thank you, Candice, for sharing your creativity with us. Like, hey, you inspire me in finding time and reigniting old passions. Seriously, hats off. It's a knit hat from the Portland Timbers, yellow green. Nice. Yeah, see the fractal. I've never tipped my hat to someone because I don't wear hats. These are the things they don't tell you about. Things you miss out on. Now I can understand the. What do you call that? Is it an analogy? No. Euphemism? Right? Hey Google, what's a use? What's a euphemism? There we go. A mild or indirect word or expression constituted for one considered to be too harsh or blunt when referring to something unpleasant or embarrassing. Ah. So technically tipping the hat to someone is an expression substituted for something. An indirect way of saying something, but it's not unpleasant or embarrassing tipping your hat to someone. Maybe one of you friends can teach me a new English word. Like, nah, Mel, it's this word. It's actually what this is. That a Heather? Seeing you, friends, sending you love so much. You inspire me. So happy, right? Where do all of those thorns come from? You have mesquite trees. Joy Vive, that tree has so many thorns. That tree, so many thorns. And yeah, they're in this trajectory. Like that, I probably stepped at one of those trees' thorns, unfortunately. Right? I love that tree. I love look at that. Look, isn't that freaking how cool is that? Isn't that the coolest thing ever? I think so. Right? But now a piece of that is inside of my body, and that is not cool. Oh, like I can't be angry at the tree. I have to be angry at myself. Like that. And I am because I do feel I'm responsible. Because if I was just a little bit more aware, I would have paid more attention to where I was going to put my foot down, and maybe before I put my foot down, could have spotted the thorns I was stepping on. And for the rest of my back and forth trips trying to collect my things, I was paying attention. I was paying a painful amount of attention to the grass, right? I was like, oh hell no. I am not stepping in more thorns today. Mm-hmm. Snappy. Okay, I'm happy to hear that, Doug. That knitting is so awesome and therapeutical. Vessel, Joy V. Vessel spreads them around, get melty while he's dancing. Don't plant conspiracy theories with my friend. Unfortunately, Vessel, I think Vessel is too good of a person to do something like that. Like he's a pretty stand-up guy. He's just not standing up for himself. At least that's what I believe. And I want to get him strong. I want to get him so strong because he's me, right? Like like he's uncharacteristically a lot like me as well. So it's even easier for me to see him as myself than it is for other people because like he looks a lot like me and he has the same behavior as me and he has the same fascinations with technology that I do. But I want him to get. I'm really picking my words carefully right now. Passionate, I guess. I want to see passion. Passion. for what it is he has control over, right? Maybe that's a thing for all of us to kind of like look into. Cultivate passion for the things that you love. Passion. Hey Google, define passion. I want to see the exact. A strong and barely controllable emotion. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, it must be like. Like that you should be on the brink of like losing your mind at all times. Right? That criticality. Like after hearing about that, I was really fascinated. I still am. There's this thing called criticality when it comes to the mind. That there is this line between chaos and order, right? That is like this convergence where things overlap and there is like an amplification of the state. So if you're overstimulated, it's almost too much. Like you can't keep yourself contained in a moment, and you can't, right? Barely. Here again, barely controllable emotion, right? That's passion. So if you can't control it, if it's uncontrollable emotion, then it is like completely, you're running around looking at things, for example. And if it's like if you're completely understimulated, right? So there's like there's in between. There's in between, and we're actively kind of like surfing criticality in our own brains, and you can change your criticality depending on what you do. Like drinking a coffee changes that set point. Smoking weed changes that set point. Sleeping enough, exercise, doing something that you actually love, right? All of these things change our set point, so we can be at a more critical state with almost less energy. At least that's the way I think of it. Um, omnipotence. Omnipotence. Yes, omnipotence. Did I say omnipotence? mm. Kind of sounds like a temple for the nipple, right? We all have nipples. We all have nipples. Even the cats. Even Pippi has nipples. Pippi gets closer to me. I'm sorry for talking about your nipples, Pippi. That's rude of me, I know. Yes. But omnipotence sounds like a temple to the nipple. I can see it being a thing. You got a tick. You want it? There you go. For some reason, Pippi takes the ticks back that I take from her. Like if I find one, I'll take it off, but she usually wants it back. And I'm like, okay, yeah, suit yourself. Sometimes she just goes straight to eating it. Sometimes she gives it like light chews and spits it back out. And it causes this question in my mind, like she is in control, right? Like she's in control enough to make it very clear that she wants the thing I just took off of her, because she's aware when I take ticks off of her, and she's aware what they are, and aware enough to use her control to want to kill them, right? But then she eats them as well, and then I think about it from the perspective of like, is she trying to get back the resources they stole? Maybe she likes it. You like it? You like it, baby? Mash, 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 mash. Dogs, right? Like we have certain levels of control over them. Like Pippi isn't allowed on my bed, for example. She has like her own little bed with her own blankie next to my bed, and she loves laying there. But she knows that she doesn't get to lay on my bed because she sheds hair and she has fleas. So there's a certain level of control maintained between us two. And I've been trying. as of late to think of that almost like animal control model in the same way with my body. Like your body is very much animal, right? Eats food, breathes air, drinks water, poops. I've been thinking about it a lot. Little birds needing to be fed, right? But right now, out there are millions of bird moms and dads out in the world trying to get food to feed their hungry babies, screaming for more. And if they don't do that, then those birds stop existing. That they know it's in their control to raise the next generation. And they try to take care, right? They take care of themselves long enough to be able to take care of others. And like taking care of things on a bodily level is pretty simple, but it's only the first layer, maybe the last layer. Like there's so much more work to be done when it comes to the mental. And you can inadvertently give yourself more mental work to do by doing the physical work. How about that? You're like, what? Exercise can cause you to develop body dysmorphia as well, right? Like, especially when, like, for instance, when you think about a fit person, right? See something in your mind. This person is so fit. That person probably has an eating disorder, right? Probably has body dysmorphia. Like, I'd bet money on it even. Because unfortunately, when you get into this statistic of what a fit person is, looking like that, being shredded to the point where, there's like visible veins and clearly defined abs, which can be great, right? For a period of time, out of a year, for example, is not sustainable. One, at least not to most people, and two, makes you ravenously hungry to the point where it can like be a massive cause of suffering where food is the only thing you think about and fighting yourself to not eat more food is the only thing that you have to do, the mental struggle in that. And then this is the real stinger, the third one, which is the worst to me, is when you get into that kind of condition, like low 10% body fat for men, low on the 20 range, or in the high 10s, like 17, 18, 19% body fat for women as well. Then when you gain 2 pounds, it is instantaneously visible, right? Think about your current process and your weight right now. Losing a pound or gaining a pound is pretty much imperceivable. But when you're on that level of low body fat, gaining a single pound, you instantly see it. And that messes with your head because you're doing all of this work, right? And you're creating this idealized goal of how your life is going to be if you can look this certain way, what it's going to mean. And you mess yourself up mentally so much because you're expecting yourself to be permanent, right? When impermanence is very much the reality. So that's why I keep encouraging with like the exercise journey, the derivative or the objective shouldn't be physique or aesthetics as much as it should be strength. How strong do you feel? Right? Can you move yourself in space? That's all that's important. And that is easily noticeable. And it's harder to lose. Like if you stop using your strength, then it's easy to lose. But even if you gain some weight, lose some weight, that strength remains because you've actually worked for it. And I feel like my exercise journey have gotten a little bit better taking that as a metric instead of just uh, how I look necessarily. I still have goals to look a certain way, this year, and I'm going to work hard towards it. But I'm gonna try and let go of this narrative, this story of what it's supposed to be, where I control the sheer amount of control, that I should be cognizant that this is a feeling, a being, and that it wants to feel nice, at least most times, and that I can be aware of that and give that mindfully, because it will indulge. Oh goodness, you give it a centimeter and it will run, start sprinting. Let me get back to it. I share the painting in the Discord. Please do, please do. Well, I just found out I'm close enough to my max load electricity in the grow room that a key tettle popped my breaker. That's a rather right. Got some watts flowing through that space, dude. How are you dealing with heat in that case? On my way to keep my hair out my face is a hat. Yeah, that's true, I guess. I don't ever tip hat, lol. Have you never tipped your hat to someone? Like, unironically? Like, it's kind of a cool gesture. I think, at least. My head is gigantic. It can't fit most hats. We'll just have to get you the Giganta hat. Easy as that, Joy Vive. You know, no problems. No experiences less we created. Running extension cords or installations on new breakers in the panel, all double. Just thought I was a few more items away. And then before you know, I wish we had better information of stuff like that. Only way to keep hair up my face is a hat again. I usually use a hair tie. Gigantic. Euphemism is like saying passed away instead of died. You're right. So tipping the hat is like I'm proud of you. Excellent job. Idiom. Idiom. Thank you. It's an idiom. I appreciate you letting me know. Yeah, Joy, that's gorgeous hair is gigantic, and it'll take in a few seconds. And I take it in a in a second, you pretty lady. Yeah, 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 exactly. I'm trying to imagine Trevi with a hat right now. I don't know why, but she gives me like women, like curtains opening, and gorgeous women, beautifully, like almost like opera singing, with this massive swooping hat. That's what I see. If Joy V were to wear a hat, that would be it. Is that a Gabbity Goose saying I'm burnt out, Joe Bobo? But I have an actual weekend this week instead of a 1 day chore day. So I'm relieved about that. Gabbity Goo. I love you, dude. Breathing some calm in this moment with you. I'm sorry that you feel that way. Today's stream is about control, right? I feel like that feeling of getting burnt out usually comes alongside not being in control, right? I believe in you. I'm happy that you get to have this weekend. Use your control to make the most of it. I know you will. Softening. Thank you for this as well. You should see people's face when I say my husband didn't die, in my beliefs that death doesn't exist because there is no end, as we are all energy. It's true. I agree. His body is no longer with us, though, right? And I feel maybe that's what people trip out about. People are so attached to the physical that they can't imagine it being any other way. It's very interesting that you talk about that exactly. Yesterday, I watched a movie called Cloud Atlas, Candace, and they touched on suicide in that movie as well. And it really made me think some things. Sending you a lot of love, always. Your strength is really almost beyond my reasoning, and it's inspiring. Sending you so much love. Dan Candace, I always find myself staring at your art, catching myself with my mouth hanging open as I view and attempt to take in every fractal. She really has a way, right? There's no way to keep my cats out of my bed. They spend most of their time there. You see, Joy Vive? I was gonna talk about that, and then I decided not to. When I was talking about Pippi not being allowed on my bed, I wanted to mention that I don't allow the cats into my room. Like, they are not even allowed entry by the door because I can't control them, right? If they want to get on my bed, they're gonna get on my bed. What do you mean, dude? I'm sitting on the bed right now. It feels nice. I'm gonna stay here, in fact. So the cats don't get into my room right, for that reason. And like sometimes some of us might be more cat-like than dog-like, right? Some of us might respond better to treats for ourselves, a reward system. Some of our bodies might be like cats and be like, no, I'm not gonna listen to you. Herding cats. You are your own herd of cats to herd. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, my dogs only want to be in my bed when thunder happens. My cat sleeps on my face. I have cat allergies, but dude, wants cuddles. That's so cute. I'm happy that you haven't, you're not that allergic at least. Cat suffocates you in the middle of the night or something. It's interesting to me. I don't know if it's an interesting point to you, friends, but the fact that dogs want to get in our bed when there's like thunder happening outside, right? Like they see us as human beings choosing out of the whole house to go unconscious in that one space. So I wonder if they associate it with a sense of safety, right? More so than the rest of the house could be. What do you think, right? Do they have that much control over their own perception of what's happening? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Right, Heather? Gosh. Joy Vive, when you try to take control of a cat, they just give you a look of human. Did you choose violence today? It's like, oh, what? You want to fight? Oh, so you want to fight? I was like, okay, cool. Let's fight though. Yeah. Do I look scared to you? I'm down for fighting. I like fighting. JV, when you take control. My ex used to like to tolerate them. They would give him that look. Mm, relocate them. You see, JV, I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why either. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe like my brain just melts when I read your comments or something. I don't know. I don't know. Relocate them. Yeah. I don't have to relocate the cats usually. Like the only relocation of the cats that I do, like we feed them on the freezer because if they get fed on dog level, the dogs are gonna eat cat food instead of dog food. So they get fed on the freezer, and then if we have to use the freezer and the cats, because the cats will follow you to the freezer because I know they get fed on the freezer. So you're like walking to the freezer while you're cooking something, and the cats are like, "Woo, freezer!" And then they jump on the freezer, and then you have to like lift the freezer door a little bit to like destabilize it, but you don't completely destabilize, and then they're like, "Woo, woo, woo," and then they get the message and they jump off. And then sometimes even after opening the freezer, they jump up and then they land perfectly on the rim of the freezer. And I'm like, I don't know how you do that. But that's pretty impressive. And then I get something and then I have to again. Oh, look, I'm closing the door. Careful, careful, I'm closing the door. But no touching. Only body language. Be like, you see, something's happening here. Uh, when I was big or jacked, I did it so people wouldn't walk all over me. Wasn't so much about how I looked, but how I felt. I looked like a ninja turtle at only 5'5". You're beautiful, brother bear. And I completely feel that fractal as well. Like my initial like stint into exercising was also nobody will walk over me ever again, right? If somebody tries to mess with me, I'll fold them like a lawn chair, right? That was my initial fractal love. I'm gonna get so strong that I'm gonna be dangerous. And unfortunately, it wasn't lasting motivation because I got strong, right? I got strong enough to defend myself, but then I became more aligned with fear thinking than love thinking, right? Because now I was a dangerous individual, right? Like if someone now has to mess with me, they're gonna have to face fury instead of just fall over and die, right? Now that fury was kind of like with me. So instead of wanting to love and be loved, I wanted people to fear me, right? And then I was like, this makes me feel separate because now we're not one. There is this separation that I'm creating with fear as a mentality. So, yeah, I don't know if you experience the same like that. Well, a little context behind it, the portal where the golden light is coming from, that's where he shot himself. If you notice, there's a little person standing on the leg of the tree. That little person is my husband. I'm guessing you've shared the work of art. Thank you for giving us some context, Candace. Yes, like that. When I irritate my kitty, she puts her paw on the air and threatens to swat me. It's like, hey, oh, don't make me use, don't make me use my fucking slappy hand. I'm just imagining this scene where you like relocate your cats, and then your cat puts on a freaking, and then freaking ninja fights you, kicks your ass, throws you against the walls and shit. And you're like after getting like properly messed up, and the cat like goes back to all fours and goes meow. You stand up completely shaken, put milk in a bowl, gives them some wet food. You pick up the phone to call 911. Kitty slowly looks over at you. You put the phone back down. Oh goodness. Yes. I look forward to being able to, as I'm talking about shenanigans like that, we actually make like a whole little mini show. You should make it we can like laugh together at that kind of nonsense. Streets of Rage. I don't know what that was about. Hey, Pantera King. I like your username. It's pretty sick. Sending you good vibes, friends. When you try to control my ex, you do you really want to commit to this fight? It will happen. I promise one more noise and it's exactly the little person within the canvas is the first thing I noticed, of course. Attention drawn. How beautiful. Love again to Goo all night. Also, I shredded some sick jams last night and got Giga Blast. After a 6 weeks cessation, bruh. That dude, if you don't smoke for 6 weeks and then you do smoke again and you get properly blazed, like you actually get melted. I was like weirdly enough thinking about, and mine wasn't even mine was like 4 weeks, right? Like after sober October, going to Christian's place and then smoking that joint with him the first day that I'm at his place. That messed me up. I was like, oh goodness. Weed is way too strong. Someone needs to lock weed in a box and keep it away from everyone else. Mm. I did have a good time. I'm feeling like you probably did as well, Gobbledygoo. Giga Blazed. In my next life, I want to come back as Gob. Maybe you already have. You're living Gob's life right now, Dog Dad. How about that, dude? Giga Blazed. Even though it looks like souls howling under some sort of goo. I'm gonna see if I can see it right now as well. I was playing with my friends last night, and I was amazed by my new guitar's tone, clarity, resonance, sustain, and drive. Where's Lane right now? I feel like Lane would be like, I'm happy that you're appreciating your new toy, dude. having an instrument. Like I keep coming back to this point, and I don't know if it gets old, but the fact that we have these things, right? That you can, for an arbitrary amount of numbers, purchase yourself an actual physical object that you can now make music with beautiful tone, clarity, resonance, sustain and drive. That you have amplifiers. Thank you for creating with these cool tools we have, dude. I appreciate you staying in control. So much control, dude. Being able to play a guitar is giga control. Gabber do rest to you. I have a hectic schedule these days, making the best of it. Trying to not let the things I'm behind on be such a way to carry and carrying on. Fresh new act sounding so sharp. Excited for you bonding time at the party thing, right? The party thing. Jovan, I'm sending you love with your struggles as well. Control. Stay in control, right? I guess that's the real thing we have to do. Even though we're not always doing things that we want to do. We're still in control. Like taking some sort of pride in that control, being like, yeah, I'm working this hectic schedule right now, but also I know I'm growing skills. I know I'm in the one that's in the position to do these things actually, to get it done, to practice control and show myself how easy it can be, even fun. I've been enjoying some mindful work as of late as well. Reading, writing, and trying to build something at the same time. And in the same way, spending every day just a little bit of time. I don't know if I'll be able to spend tomorrow. Maybe. Maybe on the road I'll be able to. We'll see. I don't know if I want to ride driving. I don't know. We're gonna be somewhere else tomorrow. It's my cousin's birthday. Her 21st. It's gonna be a fun time. I'm gonna try and get a little dance party going. I'm gonna be like, hey people, I'm gonna stream. You wanna dance with me? Hmm? You wanna try dancing with me? And I'll see if people will take me up on my offer. If not, I'll dance alone. Tomorrow is Shannon's birthday, so it's gonna be a cool one. Day 800 as well. Day 800. I let the fear thinking last for a long, long time. Good on you for catching yourself. I went from lifting to cage fighting. After a few wins, I just said, this is a lot of work. Dude, I'm happy that you're on my side. Yeah, yeah. It's weird, dude. It's like it's the same energy yet misconstrued, right? Like it's a polarity thing, and we get so stuck in our own polarity as masculine beings that we lose ourselves. We lose control. There we go. More fractals. We lose control. My amp goes up to 11 in volume scale, but you need hearing protection at 2. That sounds illegal, dude. What the hell? God, what amp? I just rock my little Orange Crush 30 these days, but I love it. Fender Hot Rod Deluxe 10 by 4 by 10 inch. 4 10-inch? Like that's a lot of amp, dude. Yes. That's as portable as a half stack gets. Wow, nice. And the little hot rod deluxe back in my day. Are you spending the night at your cousins, Melty. I think we are. I think we are. Basil? Basil? I'm not getting a response. I think I heard him, but it's fine. I think we are. It's a powerhouse, but also has the butteriest clean tone. I feel if you have that much overhead, playing in the low side of it is gonna give you just so much, fidelity. It sounds like a vibe, dude. I can't even imagine what that must sound like. Have to go, everyone. Excellent way to start my day, and thank you deeply for it. Thank you, Doug Dad, for offering your insight, your fractal with us as well. Have a good day. We have Lolo joining us. It's nice having you here, friend. I don't know if your friends can see it. Uh, you see that little thingy there? If maybe we can. Can I zoom? Yeah. So you see how this one is like connected there, and this one has like a loose bit, and then this one has like loose bit as well. Probably can't see it, but they're called links. They're like these physical connections to the grid. Sorry about that. Physical connections to the grid that connect us to electricity. And during that whole thunderstorm experience we had earlier today, we had like this massive lightning strike, and then bloop, those links got completely burnt. So we don't have electricity right now, but it should change soon. Hey, Calamitous Cheese! It's been a while since we've seen you, friend. How have you been? How's life been treating you? Have you been in control? Mm, what a direct question, huh? Calamitous Cheese. Are you consciously controlling the cacophony of chaos that can be clarity? What? I don't know, dude. I'm just throwing C's. Sending so much love. Let's pull a card. More C's. Let's see what the universe has to K. Pretty good, sir. My mood has been throwing me around, but ebbs and flows, so much abundance and blessings in my life that I can't truly complain. Dude, that sounds amazing, man. I'm so happy for you here. Card time already? Short stream today. Is it a short stream? Is it short? What does short even mean? Right? Are we in control of how long time is and how we perceive? Maybe you've been having such a good time this whole time that it only feels like it was a short stream. Oh, yeah. This is, yeah. I think this is the card. We do like control, right? But from where? From where do we control ourselves? That is the question. Let's see. I don't see any guesses. It means you don't love us and want to get away. That's exactly what it means. Yeah. Joviv has completely summed me up. I don't love you, friends, and want to get away from you. It's totally not the fact that we're leaving, to Pretoria tomorrow, and I'm gonna pack and stuff, get myself ready. I'm actually taking a pair of clothing for Rido as well. So we're gonna see Rido, hopefully, we're gonna see Rido in one of my shirts. Yeah, because he's like, hey puta, ek dra mos nou nie klere soos jy dra nie. Maar sal jy vir my 'n hemp kan bring dat ek ook kan lyk of ek kan pas of iets soos dit. Yeah. The heart Taurus. The heart Taurus. Are you going to bring your cards with you tomorrow, Mel? I don't think so. I won't pull a card tomorrow, but maybe I can pull tomorrow's card today. I'll pull tomorrow's card as if it is tomorrow, and I'm pulling a birthday card for you, right after this one. The Heart Horse. One more time, and then I'll tell you, friends, what it means. What's your favorite part of Victoria? I don't know if I have a favorite part of Victoria. What is Victoria? Victoria Falls? Like it takes long to pack an extra flower shirt and crotch ankle pants. It's not about how much time it takes. It's more about the space, right? Like JV, why are you making me question myself right now? Huh? Maybe I want to feel like I'm in control. Have you considered that? Start flexing harder. It's like I'm in control. Me, you meant Pretoria. Oh. Okay. So, what is my favorite part of Pretoria? I don't know if I have a favorite part, but when it comes to familiarity, Brooklyn and Pretoria. I'm pretty familiar with Brooklyn and Pretoria. Like I know where things are, and that makes me bias towards liking it more. Have you been Pretoria? Interesting. Calamitous Cheese, are you South African? Or have you been to South Africa? Or are you just asking for curiosity's sake? I must. Where you're going, Pretoria? Yeah, in South Africa. One more time, and then I'm gonna read what it means. Card number 48. The Heart Taurus. I've been to Brooklyn. No, I'm from upstate New York. Yeah, we have a Brooklyn in Pretoria. Like it's a block in one of our small cities called Brooklyn. I have never been to the actual Brooklyn, but I'm happy that the confusion kind of made it seem like I did. Yes, I'm actually so cultured and traveled. I have been to Brooklyn. Me, New York City centric minded. Sorry, it's chill, dude. It's so chill. Intelligence of the heart. That is today's stream message. Intelligence of the heart. The Taurus is a piece of sacred geometry that oh goodness, my is it German? My German cover is blown. I'm gonna get executed by the German elite police tonight for completely busting. I shouldn't make jokes like this. So I'm tripping out right off, starting to read this piece because we've been talking about the Taurus a lot as of late, right? One of the mentions we've made about the Taurus is that darkness in the center of us can be like seen as the void of the Taurus, right? The empty space that isn't the life force. So, the intelligence of the heart, let's go. The Taurus is a piece of sacred geometry then that when viewed as three-dimensional looks rather like a donut. The human heart has 7 muscles that form a torus and is shaped in the same way as the Earth's magnetic field. This toroidal energy connects you with the intelligence of your heart and asks you to become conscious of the effect emotions have on your ability to experience life wholly. Yeah, how about that? How about that, Joyvi? Now I'm feeling things that you made me feel. You're feeling things that you're making yourself feel. And because we're feeling all of these things, we're making this experience more whole. Emotions open your heart and can lead to a deeper connection with self and others, allowing you to feel more at peace and in balance. Emotions can also baffle your intellect and stir up confusion. Integrating head and heart Mind and emotions is the expression and function of the intelligence of your heart. Meditate with the heart torus. Sit within its dynamic movement and really feel its vitality as you knowingly connect with your heart. Consciously experience the emotions that arise. Bless what you are feeling and ask how this may inform what is occurring in your life today. Allow yourself to feel gratitude for the very human ability to experience emotions and honor the intelligence of your heart. Control, right? You're in control of honoring the intelligence of your heart. But that doesn't make it necessarily easier, right? Just because you're in control of your emotions and choosing to feel one way or another doesn't mean it's easy to deal with what we choose to feel one way or another. I'll shuffle the deck and then we'll pull a birthday card for Shan tomorrow. Projecting. Projecting into the future. I'm seeing future version of me in another reality that took my box of cards and my little geometry book with me so that I can pull the card there. Channeling that version of myself, realizing that it's going to be just a minor, very minor inconvenience taking extra things with me. I'm like a really chaotic person, you wouldn't believe. And there's going to be 70 plus people there tomorrow. And I don't even know where to put myself down when there's 70 plus people around. Never mind where to put my cards down. So we have Kitty supporting us behind in the stream. One more shuffle of the deck. Man, I put them in like little plastic coverings. But unfortunately, those plastic coverings are slowly but surely degrading and creating, or not degrading, separating, creating like little pockets that when I try to shuffle them, other cards go into the pockets, ending up with even more damaged cards. It's a vicious cycle, but it's worth it. If you punch me in the face, are you saying it's my own fault if I'm upset? No, but I didn't punch you in the face. I was I decided to pull some cards. Sometimes we pull cards and then we end up having 2 hour more conversations, right? It's more a flow thing. If I know that it's been an hour since I've started streaming and I'm at the bottom of the comments, it's almost like a prompt in my brain that goes off. Pull card. That's what my brain does, JV. So like, and then you're like, oh, you hate us, you want to get away from us. I'm like, okay. If you believe so, if that's what you want to feel, right? Out of all of the emotions, like there's this infinity emotions that you can feel, and you're like, and I'm like, shit. I'm sorry. Yes, Rama. It's nice having you, friend. We're just saying hi. We're like, hey, Rama. We're like, yeah, Rama, squat, Rama. Hey, Google, what does Rama mean? Not aroma, maybe. A distinct, typically pleasant smell. Yes, Rama. We're saying hello, friend. I wasn't talking about short stream. I was on your responsible for your own feelings fractal. I agree. I do agree. But you are in control. You are, right? Unlike the biblical messaging, and you know how I feel about that. There's the whole wisdom of turn the other cheek. You get slapped in the face, slap you in the face again, right? And I don't know if I could do that, but apparently that is like a psychological thing to understand, right? To realize that you are that in control, to be able, like you can, out of all of the things you could do that. And it's, again, it's not me trying to victim blame, being like, oh, you're suffering. How about try not suffering? Not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we do have control. We do have control. We just aren't practicing in a meaningful way, control in the way that we would like to see controlled. Right? We're scattered. We're separated. We're stuck in old feelings. We're not in control of ourselves. And it causes a lot of dissonance sometimes. Lack of trust, lack of freedom, right? Touching on yesterday's stream. I was talking about short streams, so true. So step back and think about outcomes before reacting. I'm trying to. And I am reacting. I think I am at least. But I'm not angry or negative or feeling separate. I just see it as a beautiful moment that we can be like, hmm, hmm, reflecting. Reflecting on something. Turn the other cheek doesn't mean you're not upset. It means don't retaliate. Did someone hurt you, JV? Right? At least not in this moment. And if so, how can we solve the problem? Thinking about freedom again, right? The fact that we live in a world where people feel like they don't have the freedom to say when people hurt them because it could hurt their careers or it could hurt their prospects to continue working, in a certain field, or like we live in a funky world, right? And as a result of what I'm saying, which I'm agreeing with you, Joyveed, there can be people that don't want to take responsibility for how they make other people feel, right? With the analogy of slapping someone in the face and telling them to be okay with it. Like Chris Rock. Chris Rock didn't sue the socks off of, Will Smith, which he could have. He was just like, I'm gonna eat that, right? He did kind of joke with him a little bit. He did put it in his new special. But he didn't make himself out to be a victim, right? He didn't retaliate. And even though he was upset about it, he didn't lose control. In fact, I feel I admire his control. Right, JV? Like, and he got slapped nationally, right? I think more people knows about him getting slapped than people have known about anybody else getting slapped in history, right? And he got slapped properly. And yet, he was still the one that won out of that exchange, right? The person that slaps. How can she slap? Doesn't win. And the person that retaliates doesn't win either. The only way to win is to stay in control. Right? I think that's the thing I'm trying to communicate. Because sometimes we'll get slapped. Sometimes we'll step in thorns. And it will fucking suck, Trevi. It will suck so much. It still sucks. Like it's actively right? I'm in pain. But I'm in control. I'm in control. You were in control. Mm-mm-mm. Do-do-do-do-do. I think I missed a few. Means Arabic. Okay, there we go. Rama is of Indian origin and is the name of a hero of the Indian epic Ramayana. That is a masculine name, but it is given to girls. And Rama, which is taken from the word Ram, means in the Arabic language to ask for something, to the phrase Ram, to win the competition, which means he wanted to win the competition. That's really cool. Thank you for letting us know that, Rama. That's exactly what I wanted Google to tell me. So I'm happy that you did instead. In that case, are you a girl? Rama, which is taken from the word Ram, uh, but is given to girls. The fact that you added that bit of information leads me to think that you are a girl, even though it's a masculine name, which is something that's kind of interesting to me. We usually don't do that in our culture. Rama. Rama. I think it's a beautiful woman's name. Rama. Yeah. It's kind of primordial, even. Like that rolling R. I'm guessing that you roll your R as well, right? Rama. Rama. Not Rama. 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 I hope so at least. Do let me know if I'm correct with that. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm. There is a song by a group, Harry and Oblivion, called Rama that I love. I don't think I know about Harry and Oblivion. Rama Allaham Siddhartha is one of my favorite books, which you've probably read. It's not the most well written, but the way Hess distilled that original story from a Western world reached me. No, we're just talking at cross purposes because this isn't the best mode to have a conversation in. Yeah, but it does allow for interesting experiences, right? It's pretty novel, Joy Vive. We probably wouldn't have had the experiences we've had if not for these moments. I wouldn't have gotten to the conclusions I've gotten trying to explain something to you erroneously, right? Silver linings in control. Hey, Savannah, it's nice seeing you again. Sofa, sofa, sofa. Look at that sexy dude. Man, I can only see sofa, sofa, sofa. But sexy. Like that S, the curvature, the blue surrounding. Hey, my queens, how's everyone doing today? Sending you love, dude. So much. Oh, dude, that. It's nice having you. Sending you good vibes. I used to drive around there for work. Camillus, Menius, and downtown. The Auburn and Scan. Back to ROC. You're speaking the language of the gods. Calamitous cheese. I don't know what those words mean. But Siddhartha, Herman Hesse would recommend to everyone. Siddhartha by Herman Hesse. You want to see something wacky? I want to show you friends this tool because it is useful. There's a tool called ChatGPT. Most of you friends probably already know about it, but this is like a use case for it. Siddhartha by Herman Hesse. So I will do that. And then I'll add a little bit more. And I'll say, can you give me a summary of the key points from Siddhartha by Herman Hesse? And then it goes, and then it says, Siddhartha by Herman Hesse is a novel that tells the story of a man named Siddhartha who embarks on a spiritual journey of self-discovery. Set in ancient India, the novel explores themes of enlightenment, the search for meaning, and the interplay between self and the world. Here are some key points from the novel. Siddhartha is a young man who is dissatisfied with his life and seeks deeper understanding of the world. He then leaves his comfortable life as the son of Brahmin and begins a journey that takes him through various experiences, including a stint as a wealthy merchant and a period of asceticism. Along the way, Siddhartha encounters a variety of people who teach him valuable lessons about the nature of reality and the human condition. He eventually meets a ferryman named Vasudeva, who becomes his mentor and helps him achieve enlightenment. Through his experiences, Siddhartha comes to understand that true wisdom cannot be taught but must be experienced directly. The novel also explores the themes of love, suffering, and the interconnectedness of all things. Ultimately, Siddhartha achieves enlightenment and becomes one with the universe. Overall, Siddhartha is a powerful novel that offers a profound meditation on the nature of existence and the search for the meaning of life. How about that? Right? Didn't read the whole novel, but now at least I have like a fractal of what our beloved friend experienced reading that piece. Rama's girl celebration. Yeah. You saying that good. Yeah, good. Summarize the book for me. ChatGPT is wild. Everyone should be playing with it. IMO. It's a very powerful tool that can very much help you. I'm moving back to New Orleans next week. You'll have to come and visit. I look forward to it. So fun. I'm just gonna hop, skip, and jump, and then I'm gonna be right there in the New Orleans as well. Just a moment. Brahman was a high caste in India. Brahman is like the OG, isn't it? Like the god, the big god, the old god. Nola, that's cool so far. My family is from Louisiana. There we go. Yes, Louisiana. Siddhartha is the story of the first Buddha. It sounds like it. I was like feeling the same kind of fractals. Siddhartha, Louisiana is on my to go to one day list. Like I'm tripping out about how big your country is. I haven't even seen all of South Africa. My country is significantly smaller than the States. I don't know about this book, but I'm looking forward to reading it. Thank you. Thank you. Do consider it. I mean, it would probably be very much in your fractal in that case. Yeah. So, Shannon, I don't know if you're still here. I think you are. You said hi to Sofa. This is Shannon's card. Shannon's birthday is tomorrow, so again, the whole fractal of me projecting into the future. I had to like spend some time downloading whatever that card was going to be in that potential reality, which we're no longer going to experience, but we're still going to get to pull the card for it. Send you love. So Shan, send your mind vibes, right? The right card, whichever it might be. Shan's birthday card. Stop. Okay. It's a cool card. Upside down. Card number 3. It's called The Kiss. There's butterflies and turtles and wings and rainbows and stars and Vesica Pisces with triangles in them and the masculine and the feminine embracing. This card is one of my favorites. The kitties keeping you company. They always do. Keeping me safe. Like there's a... Look at her. She thinks she's gonna get pets when I start meowing at her. Okay. Who takes care of the pets when you go to the city melty? They have the dogs at least have a continuous feeder, and we usually top the kitties' bowls up with enough food. They don't have a dedicated time of eating. They kind of like have food on tap always. And they move around enough that they don't get fat. At least that's the way I see it. Keep themselves fit. One more time, Shan. Your card. Stop looking at my face. I'm getting flied. Oh, perfect. Pisces. Yeah, right. Card number 3. The Kiss. Earthly love and relationship. Look at that, Vesica Pisces. Yeah. One person drinks ranch. Other person eats whole tubs of ice cream with spoons. And in the middle, there is the kiss of ranch ice cream. Relationship. Beauty. Actually, the reverse meanings go like this. The rings feel off-center or are possibly disconnected altogether. Look That's almost too much. Yes, see. Okay, I'll continue reading. The rings are off center or possibly disconnected altogether. Look with the intelligence of your heart for what it will take to be again in the doorway of understanding. Use the Vesica Pisces to symbolize realigning relationship. So we pulled. My brain is melting right now. We pulled the heart Taurus the first time, which its core meaning is intelligence of the heart. And then we pulled the card specifically for Shan. And then the reverse meaning specifically goes intelligence of your heart. I don't know if this is so trippy to you, friends, but like the odds, I think it's an odds thing for me. The odds of stuff like that happening is like less likely than us existing, right? Like if you shuffle that card, that deck of cards like 7 times, the variation of where all of the cards could be, and then the possibility of which one you will choose out of that infinity, very unlikely. And it's very, very unlikely that you have cards that completely align with one another like that as well. To an extent, because they are made by the same person. This is the upright meaning, though. Beauty and love surround the sweet kiss. It takes place in the shared space where two interlocking golden rings create a Vesica Pisces. The almond shaped, or viewed from another angle, eye shaped. Center here symbolizes the sacred space in which the kiss becomes a union of souls. This symbolic joining celebrates the coming together of whole individuals in mutual understanding, finding common ground. Love expands through this shared vision, further represented are the marriage of heaven and earth, of light and dark, and of elemental forces. A rainbow ring and one of stars intertwine with the gold and suggests as we come together in tenderness and respect, we also intertwine with universal energies. Relationships can inspire communion that offer us the eyes to see beyond everyday reality into realms through which we may more clearly experience our connection to all that is. This card invites you to take a holistic view of the relationships in your life. See them existing in balance and respect. Look deeply into the eyes of each of your relationships. Be they intimate or casual, for business, or for any of the ways that we interact with and teach each other. Any of the ways that we interact with and teach each other, right? I don't know if Francine Hart could have imagined that this is the way that we would have been interacting with each other in this moment, right? The fact that I'm looking into your eyes by looking into what for me is a camera lens, and I can feel like this is like I'm making an eye connection, right? Yeah, Vesica Pisces aligning. Feel how love feeds you and remember that nourishment, even when your friends are not around. Yow! Yes, I feel like that's so important to just echo. Feel how love feeds you, right? Love is true. It's like if you're not being fed by that love, you're just dead. You just knock over. Feel how that love feeds you and remember that nourishment even when your friends are not around. Know that you also share a sacred union with your own heart. Again, the heart, Taurus. Yow! Offer yourself the love and respect that you seek from others. Offer yourself the love and respect that you seek from others. Oh, connecting with the feeling of the kiss may take you to a heart space from which to heal old wounds and envision a bright future. Yo, how's that for a birthday card, Shan? Love yourself. Give yourself the love that you want from others. Whew. Let me see the comments. Kitties keeping you company. Who takes care of the kitties? Thank you for asking. I have had to experience so much stupidity, so many vices, so much error, so much nausea, disillusionment, and sorrow, just in order to become a child again and begin anew. Yeah, and you're gonna have to keep doing that, Clematis Cheese, forever. Forever. It's never gonna stop. It doesn't even stop when you die because you're still gonna do that. You asked for everything and now you're gonna get it forever. Congratulations, your infinity. Dun 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 dun. The artwork on these cards is stunning as always. They really are. I love them. I don't know what bothered you, Sam. By Herman Hesse. Shan gets birthday card kisses, of course. The lot is cast into the lap, but every decision is from the Lord. Meaning, random pools are ultimately determined. Exactly. Right? And then it trips me out where I'm like, how many different realities did we live, right? We like that. So this is how I think of it, right? Like there are an infinity amount of different realities, right? In that very moment of us pulling that card, there is 1 in 64 chance that I pull that card, the kiss card. And then it goes like up by a little factor when it's 2 cards that I pull in a row. And then it's 2 cards I pull in a row that kind of go alongside the Vesica Pisces we were talking about in the stream as well, and that we have been talking about. And then there is the association that both of those 2 cards are actually related if the whole heart Taurus kind of being referenced. And they like, so I understand it's determined, right? Like it was gonna happen and always did happen, but all of the times it didn't happen also happened for that moment to happen that we had. And feeling like, holy shit, this moment is so special because we get to have these moments. Thank you, Mel. Thank you. I see you, Shan. Right? Self, other, kissing, awareness, experiencing, observer, one sphere, observed, other sphere, observations, the kiss, right? Where we cannot be separate. The observer is the masculine, the observed is the feminine. Their dance is the kiss, the infinity symbol, right? You in this moment. Woo! Okay. Do you all have a present for your cousin? I don't actually have a present for my cousin. I'll give her LSD. She asked me for it. I was like jokingly talking about it one day, and she was like, "Yeah." When I turn 21, I want to take LSD. I'm like, okay. Ask and ye shall receive. Is 21 a big deal birthday? Like it is here? Yee. Little bit. Like it's kind of a big deal to some people. I was in China for my 21st birthday. I remember feeling so bad for myself because of that, right? The whole big deal thing. I was like, oh, I'm supposed to have this like nice kind of experience, like people should be congratulating me for turning 21. And you know what I was doing? I was sitting on a couch eating a mango cream cake, mango cream vanilla sponge cake with a spork alone. And nobody at that point had wished me a happy birthday either. because the time zones happen to be in the way where like people only wake up in South Africa to the new day. I think something like 7 hours after I wake up. So I spend most of my day, right, feeling like I'm just, you know, nothing changed. And I was eating my sport cake like around 12. Like we had these morning slots where I had to teach in the mornings, and then we had evening slots where I had to teach in the evening. And then there was like a downtime in the middle of the day. And then my school, uh, they they found out that it was my birthday because I told one of the kids or something. It sounds embarrassing. And then they bought me, like, you can literally order anything, anything, anything in China on your cell phone. And literally within 20 minutes, there was a cake on my table. And I was like, sick. Thank you. That's nice of you. It was like a mini one, like not like massive, like cake like that. It was too much cake for just one person. And me like sitting and feeling sorry for myself, eating my cake with a spork. Ah, this is how I'm spending my 21st birthday. Some bullshit, Joy Vive. We should stop culturally brain damaging ourselves. That our birthdays should be celebrated one way instead of another. We should love ourselves, celebrate ourselves, being like, yo, think around the sun, sick it. Get to eat sport cake by myself. I'm at peace. But no, attachment, right? Choosing, suffering. uh, I was in a program on my 21st, sober, no phone, etc. Needed it though. I'm happy that you can look back at it with that kind of growth, Brother Bear. That sounds good to me. I was in the midst of my breakdown for my 21st. Goodness. You have built yourself back up strong, Shan. I don't remember my 21st, so I must have been somewhere wasted. Probably. Same shot. I mean, I was very much breaking down during my 21st as well, right? I was like feeling so sorry for myself. I really didn't enjoy China. Oh goodness. I I unfortunately realized that I wasn't gonna enjoy China way too fast. You know, like usually there's like a honeymoon period. To me, it was like 3 days, and then I was like, oh hell nah, oh, oh goodness, oh fuck, I'm dying, my soul is getting sucked out. No, 25 wasn't fun to be honest. No, don't say that. I'm turning 25 this year. Calamitous Chief. I'm turning 25. Oh fuck. I'm stressing as well. I'm gonna be fine. I'm 25. I'm basic 25. No, 25 is gonna be one of my hardest working years. I can already see it. But you're right. We ascribe so much meaning to age unnecessarily. Tyranny of numbers. That's what I like to call it. We have tyranny of numbers to ourselves, right? Like we stress ourselves out so much, knowingly, not even unknowingly. Like we do it intentionally and actively every single day, making sure. What day is it today? What time is it right now? Is it Wednesday? Eh, you're in the middle of it. Smack dab, right in the middle of infinity. Remember your control without controlling. Why are you stressing, Melty? I'm not stressing as much as I'm aware of responsibilities. You know, like I'm tripping out about what I'm supposed to be doing, and the older I get, the more I'm supposed to be doing. 25 might be your best year yet. It is gonna be my best year yet. Yeah. Every year from now on, it's gonna be my best year yet. Just gonna keep getting bester of year every single time. I I know what I need to do, but I don't necessarily always want to do it, Joy. And I feel like 25-year-old me is gonna have even less tolerance for my own bullshit. That's what I'm feeling. My my awareness, right? The awareness that is noticing this body aging, and then what is expected of aging bodies, being like, "Hey, oh, what you doing, bruh? What are you doing? What are you doing?" And I'm like, oh, please, sir. Please, can I have some brain damage? I don't want to be thinking about things right now." And it's like, nah. You need to be thinking about things. Um, this kind of behavior is what got you in this place in the first time. You want to keep staying here? Now? Then you have to change. Oh, there is a there is a strength growing in me, Trevi. That scares me. Doesn't take nonsense, right? My excuses don't work against it. It's too smart. It's like, nah, I don't believe you. That stuff you just said, nope, nope. I'm not gonna take it. Mm-hmm. Is it Wednesday? No, it ain't. I know it's not Wednesday, but I got you thinking, right? How do you know? How do you know, Joy Vive? How do you know it's not Wednesday? Right? We might have just gotten so brain damaged along the ride. That might have been like a whole thing where all of us got like super wasted, and like we only woke up on Friday thinking it's still Wednesday, and then everybody just went along with it. And it's actually Wednesday today, but we all think it's Friday. You see, that's the point I'm making. Like that's how contrived time is, because that could, in theory, happen if like the documents, if there's no documents, right, and it's just like a kind of verbal agreement. And we would be like, okay, as a society, even if we did that, even though it might mess up our current computing systems and stuff, right there with you, friend. Many of this sounds familiar personally. I'm here, friend. We're all going through the same process. Inevitable decrepitude. What? Hey Google, define decrepitude. Decrepitude. Hey Google, define decrepitude. Decrepitude, the state of being decrepit. He had passed directly from the middle age into decrepitude. No, I'm not becoming decrepit. I'm becoming serious. That's the word. Serious. Too serious, Joy Vive. Like I'm like watching this seriousness arise in me, where it's like, bruh, you need to stop doing these things. And I'm like, and it's like, no, no, stop. No, stop it. Stop. Maybe that is decrepit. Maybe it is. Who knows? You can fool people. You can even fool God, but you can't fool yourself. Oh no, that's so cursed. We all got so wasted that we Rip Van Winkle 2 whole days. Exactly, JV. Exactly. Who knows? I don't know what your comment about. You can fool people, you can even fool God, but you can't fool yourself. Are you talking about the seriousness? Fortunately, there's no fooling, right? As time has progressed, there's only been more things that I choose to do every day. And it's like I'm running out of hours to everyday things, Joy Vive. And the serious part of me is like looking at my leisure time and being like, Yassi, that leisure time you got would be a shame if you don't have it anymore because you're gonna be working instead. And I'm like, what do you mean? I miss it, and it's like, and I'm scared of that. I'm like, it's like, please, please, let me get, let me have this Let me have this moment. 12 days. Yeah. Okay. I feel control has been practiced. Criticality has been reached. Messages has been shared. Yes, the seriousness. You said you can't fool yourself into not being it. Yeah, exactly. I like that actually as a connection. Sorry, JV, if I'm running multiple fractals. Yeah. And it's not like a trying to fool yourself. It's just you're very convincing, right? And like I know that those two things I just said are like kind of like contradictory. But it's not a you trying to fool yourself. It is more like an emotion arise that convince you otherwise, right? You don't even have to be fooled. You just feel that way, right? You feel like eating 5 ice creams in a row right now. You're not trying to fool yourself. Technically, you are. You are fooling yourself because it's not good for you, and you know that. And you not knowing it or not being conscientious of it and just continuing is a fooling of the self. But you're not doing it from a malicious perspective, right? It's just something you feel and that happens. Have the most beautifulest day, everyone. I love you all so extremely, super, tremendously, hugely, dearly. Melt and all of you absolutely wonderfully loving and blessed and divine friend. Damn. Damn. So many fractals in one sentence. Love you, Shan. Thank you for joining us too. Again, uh, practice control. I promise. I promise it will make you feel more free. I do promise that, right? Because even though you feel like you're trapping yourself in some ways, you're trapping yourself in ways that you feel in control over, right? Instead of feeling trapped in ways that you don't have control over. And one feels more free than the other. They might technically be equally unfree, relatively, but the feeling, right? You don't have to convince yourself of something when it feels a certain way. That's what I think of control with association of freedom. And I feel it's a good thing to pay attention to. Rambler, beloved friend, so nice seeing you. Mel, I was in the dark age at 25 compared to where you are. Your mind's 20s are going to be baller. Thank you. I take that. Thank you so much for saying those words, beloved friend. I appreciate that so much. We need to remember that we're animals too, prone to urges, desires, and vices, etc. As long as we're aware and try to fight them, that's all we can ask for. Practicing that control, getting better at practicing that control. Thinking of that control as like a muscle, right? Every single time you draw yourself back, when you feel like you're losing control, then you're gaining that control, right? Not necessarily the active control that you're obsessed with, but being able to come back to the active control and then melt away from it and then that control, the coming back, that yeah, back to life again. Love is true. Worky lurky today. Love to all of you fractals. Thank you for making my day. Thank you for sharing you with us, Brother Bear, for using your control to show up in this moment. I love you, friends, so much. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Tomorrow. I'll be in a different space, but it will still be me and you. Huh? One side of the sphere, right? Little self contained I, if you will. And then you, the other side of the sphere. And then this experience, the basic Pisces, looking at each other through this fractal. Skip out! Sending you love. Thank you for joining me. See you again soon. Goodbye. Cheers, cheers.